Hello, everyone. A very logical day as well as a very logical week to all of you. This week, we'll be starting with how to frame the central idea from the major points that we extract. Right. Till now, I was giving you the subheading that was there in the editorial. Right. But now let us see how we can identify the main points. And this is what we have been doing for more than a month now. So, if you have been very religiously listening to these recordings, you will be able to understand how to extract the main ideas. If you have done that much, let us see how we can frame a sentence so that you can catch the central, or rather, match the central idea with one of the options that is given there. I won't be giving you the options here, but yes, you'll be able to do it in your tests. Right? So, catching the central idea, framing a sentence on it, this is what we are going to do this week, right? If you remember last week, we had come up with one or two odd questions with title and objective कि हम किस तरीके से टाइटल समझ सकते हैं या किस तरीके से हम ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ द ऑथर समझ सकते हैं. ठीक है. I'll try to take one question variety at a time for a single week so that you get into the habit of coming up with those. So we'll be doing like objective, title, central idea. We'll be coming up with a few tones, styles, figures of speech also. Vocabulary तो हम लोग कर ही रहे हैं. ठीक है. So let's see how we can make all this quite useful for you. So 13 February growing with up नहीं है, growing with UP है. ठीक है. Come on, let's read. Addressing the UP Global Investor Summit in Lucknow last week, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said Uttar Pradesh is driving the growth of new India. He told the investors, don't forget that the state where you are today has a population of nearly 25 crore. More than any country in the world, there is more power in Uttar Pradesh alone. Just like India, a very important aspirational society is waiting for you in Uttar Pradesh. They argued that India's most populous state, which in the past has been viewed as a laggard in growth and categorized among the Bimaru states, has been witnessing holistic development. जो अब हमें पॉइंट समझ में आ रही है कि दिस इज व्हाट द प्राइम मिनिस्टर सेड, राइट? हियर ड्राइविंग द ग्रोथ का मतलब होता है, ड्राइविंग होता है कभी इट बिकम्स द इंजन फॉर द ग्रोथ, राइट? दैट मीन्स इट इज बूस्टिंग द ग्रोथ, इट इज गोइंग अहेड एंड द रेस्ट आर फॉलोइंग. उसे ड्राइवर्स कहते हैं. ठीक है. जो ड्राइविंग करते हैं वो भी, और जो ऐसे ड्राइवर्स बनते हैं जो कि बाकी चीजों को भी फॉलो करवाते हैं, सो दे बिकम द ड्राइवर्स. सो यूपी इज बिकमिंग और इट इज ड्राइविंग द ग्रोथ ऑफ न्यू इंडिया. One point was that it is the most populous state, but second point was that it was characterized as a laggard state, means lazy, कि lagging behind होता है, धीरे धीरे चल रहा था यूपी, अब तक पिछड़ा हुआ था, अब वो खुल के आगे आ रहा है. क्यों? Because of the holistic development over the past 5 years. PM buttressed his argument by citing a boost to infrastructure such as roads, availability of electricity, improved law and order, better governance reflected in improved ease of doing business ranking, etc., among other metrics. So, this is how the author is giving the reasoning, not the author. Author has stated this, but this is the reasoning that the Prime Minister said about holistic development. ठीक है, तो ये उनका पॉइंट था प्राइम मिनिस्टर का, जो ऑथर ने स्टेट किया. एंड द प्राइम मिनिस्टर कंसोलिडेटेड हिज पॉइंट, हिज आर्ग्यूमेंट with this part of the paragraph. Let's see, talk about infrastructure, roads, availability of electricity. They have excelled in all these fields, so it becomes a holistic development. In essence, both the PM and the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath are making a concerted effort to not only improve UP's growth trajectory, but also leverage the state's massive, albeit untapped potential as an engine of growth for India. Right? Now, see, it is an engine of growth or it is the driver of the growth. Both the PM as well as the CM are working towards it. तो कंसर्टेड एफर्ट का मीनिंग आ जाता है कि अगर 2 लोग या 4 लोग या 10 लोग, ठीक है, सबका एक ही मकसद होता है, so they are putting in efforts for a single target, towards a single target, so that is concerted, right? You can actually relate it to concentration also. थोड़ा सा sounding similar लगता है ना, so you can understand it then. So the major point of this paragraph would be that UP was termed as a as a state that was lagging behind in development, but now there is a holistic development going on with the building of roads and electricity, improved law and order and everything for the last 5 years. So UP can become or is on the path of becoming the driver of growth for the new India. This is a welcome move. Now, this is the point of view of the author now. अभी तक तो वो बता रहे थे कि पीएम एंड सीएम क्या कर रहे हैं या उन्होंने क्या कहा. So now the author says that this is a welcome move. Despite being the most populous state in the country by a huge margin, UP's net state domestic production in nominal terms as of 2021 pegged it as the fifth largest economy within India. So it is the highest, the most populous state in India, but it is the fifth largest economy. Now see, you are coming up with this word pegged again. ये quiz में भी था, ये 2 बार quiz में मैंने पूछा है. ठीक है, तो pegged का मतलब अब तुम्हें समझ में आ जाना चाहिए. Though I've repeated it in the vocabulary part also. The story becomes considerably much worse in per capita income levels where UP has been sliding down as its population increased without commensurate increase in economic growth. Now, here is the problem that the population increased, right? But then economic growth did not increase so much, and therefore the per capita income decreased, right? So, since the early 90s, when India embraced economic reform, several states which were smaller in terms of overall economic size, such as Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, have overtaken UP. This happened for two reasons. Now, see, he's analyzing this, he's explaining us this. Why has UP been behind the rest of the states which are smaller than that? Now, one reason each of these states improved their governance and focused on their own growth models, right? So they improve their governance, focus, and their own growth models. Two, UP struggled to enunciate a clear roadmap and remain plagued by inefficient and often corrupt administration. फॉर इंस्टेंस अब ये जो फॉर इंस्टेंस है मतलब फॉर एग्जाम्पल तो ये बताना है यूपी की प्रॉब्लम के बारे में has several centers of excellence in handicrafts and small scale manufacturing, but lack of proper branding and correct incentives have meant that many centers that could have become leading industrial hubs never did. Okay, why? Because of the corruption there and because of the inefficient administration. तो जो कि वो बन सकता था एक इंडस्ट्रियल हब लेकिन वो नहीं बना. So the BJP government in UP has not only built on the push towards infrastructure that has started by the Samajwadi Party, but also unveiled a plan to market the local produce. The One District, One Product scheme, which was unveiled in 2018, is an example. Now, see, whatever is being said by the author, he is supporting it with an example. However, these are still early days to say whether the new strategy is working or not. Structural transformation of the sort that UP is hoping to achieve requires much more than announcement and plans. The key lies in efficient and effective implementation, and that too over decades. ठीक है इसका मतलब ये कर तो सकती है पोटेंशियल है यूपी में इट कैन बी और इट इज बिकमिंग द driver or the engine of growth for the country. What is required to be done is that they were lagging behind, but now they have built the infrastructure. Now they are coming up with a holistic development, right? So electricity, roads, and it is leading or becoming an industrial hub gradually. This is what is done by the BJP government now, and they have unveiled a plan. For example, they are working on the structural transformation, coming up with announcement of the plans and making plans also. They started in 2018. But what is required now is an efficient and effective implementation, and that too over decades. मतलब कुछ समय लगेगा इसका efficient implementation होता है अगर plans का, then UP can definitely become the driver of growth. So it is started on that road. I hope you have understood this now. Let's see the main ideas. I've identified the main ideas in this way now. See, it is driving the growth of New India. इट इज विटनेसिंग होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट, ये हमने आइडेंटिफाई कर लिए थे. कंसर्टेड एफर्ट्स का मतलब होता है कि अनटैप्ड पोटेंशियल है, and UP's CM and the PM are coming up with efforts, putting in the efforts to bring it to the better level, right? So it is improving its growth trajectory. Trajectory का मतलब होता है path. Then it is struggled to initiate. तो ये एक reason दे रहा है, ठीक है, जो कि पहले वो क्या था, एक क्लियर रोड मैप नहीं था, लेकिन अब पिछले 5 सालों में ऐसा रोड मैप बना दिया है. सो देयर इज अ पुश टुवर्ड्स इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर स्टार्टेड इन 27 2012 and 17. They have unveiled a plan also, and what is important is that efficient and effective implementation of that plan. That is what is required. Now, if I bring these points together and write down in a single sentence in the way that it will become one of the options, ठीक है? तो अगर हम इसको इस तरीके से लिखते हैं, so UP has the potential, ये हो गया एक. To boost India's growth, ये हो गया दूसरी point कि it can become the driver of India's growth. राइट, ये बन सकता है, और बन सकता है मतलब वो उस रास्ते पे है. तो दिस इज नाउ अंडरस्टूड बिकॉज यू नीड टू कट आउट ऑल दी फ्रिवोलस थिंग्स and boil down to the important point. So if UP has the potential to boost India's growth, but efficient implementation of the plans already made is a must. जब मैंने ऑलरेडी मेड लिख लिया, इसका मतलब प्लान्स काफी समय से स्टार्ट हो चुके हैं, फिर चाहे वो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हो, चाहे वो हैंडीक्राफ्ट का हो, या जो कुछ भी हो, right, in the sense that yes, they have already started moving towards the growth, right, and this is a must. That means implementation is required, it is indispensable. वो तो उसके बिना UP cannot become a driver of growth. तीनों चारों आइडियाज इसमें आ गए, so it is a fulfilling one, you can say, right. The rest of the things were supporting, the rest of the things were given by the author but said by the prime minister, right? So the second paragraph contains the author's views. He is trying to explain us with examples कि क्या क्या यूपी ने किया है और क्या क्या आगे करना है, लेकिन अब देखना क्या है कि होता क्या है, right? This is, and therefore he says that the effective implementation is required. And this is the subtitle that was given in the passage. The enormous untapped potential of India's most populous state can fuel its engine of growth and the nation's. Now, here they are given only one point, that it can fuel, okay? So it has the potential, अनटैप्ड पोटेंशियल है, ये सही है. इनॉर्मस है, ये सही है. तो इनॉर्मस और अनटैप के बदले अगर हमने सिर्फ पोटेंशियल यूज किया, सही है. कभी सिर्फ पोटेंशियल यूज होता है एंड यू यूज द सेम वर्ड्स लाइक अनटैप्ड एंड इनॉर्मस इन द सेंट्रल आइडिया, बट you need a very compact central idea then, right? And most populous state, fine, that was one of the pointers that he had given, that see, it's the most populous state, but still the economic growth was not so much. Now it is going on a holistic development. So इसका छोटा सा pointer था, not required in the central idea, therefore I have skipped it. What was required was the last note that he ended the paragraph with, that they need an efficient implementation. This remains to be seen, right? तो उसका हमने add कर लिया. So you would have a better central idea here, right? And this is, yes, of course, points you can say. Come on, now we'll come to the vocabulary part. Laggard, we have done this word somewhere. It is like lazy, right? And languish, languid हम करते हैं ना, ये भी हमने लिखा है. अगर lazy word किया है तो we have done this word. Another good word for it would be shirker, slacker and straggler. ठीक है, शर्कर का मतलब होता है, हाउ दिस वर्ड इज यूज्ड, यू जस्ट शर्क योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज. जैसे शर्क कैसे करते हैं, ऐसे सिर्फ यू मूव द शोल्डर, यू बैकवर्ड्स. सो वट एवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी यू हैव फिगरेटिवली ऑन योर शोल्डर्स, राइट, यू शर्क इट अवे. तो अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज को हटा देना, नहीं करना, ठीक है, उसे बाईपास करना इज कॉल्ड शर्किंग योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. So, of course, a person who is lazy and laggard will not complete his responsibilities properly, and therefore he is a slacker. Slack may we have the word lack, so you can relate it to something that is not fit according to the requirement and therefore it is lacking something. So he's a slacker. So he's a lazy person. Holistic, you can understand. We have this root word whole here. The holistic approach hota hai, matlab taking all the things into consideration, all the aspects of the problem into consideration, and then coming up with the that approach is called a holistic approach. I think I mentioned this earlier. Otherwise, it becomes a piecemeal approach. पीस मील मतलब एक अलग अलग हिस्सा कोई टैकल करता है किसी प्रॉब्लम का, अलग अलग एस्पेक्ट टैकल करता है किसी प्रॉब्लम का, तो उसे कहते हैं पीस मील अप्रोच. अगर सारे एस्पेक्ट्स एक साथ लेते हैं तो उसे कहते हैं होलिस्टिक अप्रोच. ठीक है. बटरिस्ट, बटर जैसे ना, बटर यानी मक्खन, तो मक्खन लगाना तो सपोर्ट के लिए लोग मक्खन लगाते हैं. तो इन दिस वे बटरिस्ट करना है सपोर्ट, स्ट्रेंथन एंड बोल्स्टर. Bolster is also support. So now, when the author comes up with his argument, he would buttress it with the reasons or the logic. In that way, also it is used. Boost, we have seen in the quiz also, we had this word Philip, if you remember. I have purposely written this कि वो तुम्हें याद आ जाए और ये boost या Philip का meaning समझ में आ जाए. तो increase, enhancement है, Philip है. Concerted is concentrated. I told you इस तरीके से हम करेंगे, अगर कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड हो जाता है तो इंटेंसिव या डिटरमिन्ड हो जाएगा. कंसर्टेड एफर्ट्स के साथ आप रिलेट कर दो हमेशा. ठीक है. तो एक ही मकसद है, एक ही ना, वेरी वेल डिटरमिन्ड यू आर. Albeit is although, though, notwithstanding, whatever it is, then nominal. May we have the word norm. Norm means name. तो नॉमिनल का मतलब होता है सिर्फ नाम के लिए. तो सिर्फ नाम के लिए होगा मतलब ट्राइफल या ट्रिवियल, जरा सा, इनसिग्निफिकेंट, इनकंसिडरेबल, मिनिमल. तो उसे सिर्फ बोलते हैं सिर्फ नाम के लिए तुमने लिया. ठीक है. So that is nominal, trivial. Pegged, we have done this word, so I have given you the position, nailed and fixed. Commensurate, of course, you can understand now. Com is together, and mensuration is like calculation. ठीक है. मेजरमेंट वाली जो बात होती है, ये ज्योमेट्री में तुमने किया होगा स्कूल में, 10th क्लास में. तो कमेंसुरेट का मतलब होता है कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग, प्रोपोर्शनेट या मैचिंग. इनशिएट हमें नहीं आता है, तो इसे रिलेट करो तुम प्रोनाउंस से. ठीक है. वे यू प्रोनाउंस समथिंग और यू इनशिएट समथिंग. सो यू कैन ऑल्सो रिलेट इट टू इनिशिएट. तो इनिशिएट होता है पहला कदम उठाना ना. तो इनशिएट का मतलब होता है कुछ बोलना, प्रोनाउंस करना. So you say, you vocalize, or you voice your opinion. So you initiate this. So I've given a trick of relate it to either pronounce or relate it to initiate. Then plagued. Plagued is afflicted, right? Beleaguered का हमने word पहले किया था, suffering. ठीक है. So afflicted हो सकता है मतलब the city was suffering by plague. And then hub. Indore is an education hub. Indore is a food hub. राइट. ऐसे बहुत सारे जैसे बोलते हैं हब, कंप्यूटर हब है या डिजिटल हब होता है. तो हब का मतलब हुआ सेंटर या पाइवेट एंड न्यूक्लियस. तो जहाँ पे बहुत सारी कॉलेजेस हैं, इंदौर में बहुत सारे कॉलेजेस हैं, इंदौर में बहुत सारे फूड स्टेशंस या फूड स्ट्रीट्स हैं, देयरफॉर इट इज अ फूड हब और इट कैन बी कॉल्ड एन एजुकेशन हब. राइट. सो हब मीन्स सेंटर. So that's all for today. And kindly go through this article and also read the second one. Start reading the second article also. Any day I'll be taking that article, the second editorial also, if I find it interesting. And if it has more words, a few times I've taken though. So, okay, thank you. Now that's all for today. Have a very logical day ahead.